Today we are learning about the electric current of the 10th class physical science, and it's a very important chapter regarding the SSC examination, and if you can concentrate on this chapter you can score more marks. In this chapter what we can discuss the definition of electric current and Ohm's law, how the Ohm's law can be applied, what are the laws of resistance and how the resistance are connected in series and as well as parallel. And today's our topic is based on these particular topics. What is electric current? The electric current is based on the charge flow. So what is electric charge? The charge is nothing but an energy established on the surface. For example, if you can take a pen, you can rub on your head, and if you can touch piece of papers, it can be attract. That means because of the rubbing process, the energy is created on the surface. So that energy is nothing but we can say charge. It is denoted by Q. And the unit of this charge is coulomb, you can say. And the flow of the charge in a particular conductor, it is just similar to the flow of water in a pipe, you can imagine, because it is a hypothetical situation, we cannot visualize that one. So hence we can visualize that charge flow is nothing but a water flow in a pipe, you can imagine like this one. In a particular conductor, all the charge can be moved from one end to the other end. It is just because of the moving of the electrons. The migration of electrons can create the electric charge. So here the number of electrons flow from one end to the other end, and other end to this end, particularly this number must be equal, because when there is no other connection for this conductor, the electrons will make the random motion in this one. So this kind of motion of electrons, which can be say as a thermal motion, you can say, and these electrons are making the lot of collisions with the fixed ions, and these collisions will be, every collision it can change its direction of the velocity. But when this conductor ends are going to be connected with the external electric field like battery, if you can connect, because it has a positive end and a negative end. Thereby what happens, this random motion of electrons will be regularized, because these are polarized, one is plus and another is minus is there, the terminals are set here. And these random motion of electrons will be regularized. Thereafter what happened in this conductor, these electrons will be set in a particular regular motion, so from one end to the other end. And this direction whichever we denote in this one, it is nothing but the charge flow. It is the charge flow. But electrons will always be moves in opposite direction to this charge flow. So because of the external electric field. If there is no external electric field, what happens? The electrons are in the random motion and they can be collided with the fixed ions. It is always be taking place. And when the external electric field is applied, then they can be drifted from this original direction, and thereby they regularized from one end to the other end. So this is the direction of the charge flow. The charge flow always be, it is opposite to the external electric field which can be applied. So because it is plus to minus is there, it is charge flow, and electrons are moving or always be opposite to the direction of this external electric field, you can say. The charge is flowing along the direction, conventional current we can say. The electrons motion is always be said as a modern current, we can say. Now electric current can be defined based on this charge flow. charge is flowing one end of the conductor to the other end, and it is in the cyclic process, it is moving. So in this way, the electric current is denoted by I, which can be defined as a rate of flow of electric charge through the cross section of the conductor. The rate of flow of electric charge. So because we can say charge by the time of flow of electric current, charge in this conductor through the cross section of the conductor. And this electric current is nothing but the rate of flow of electric charge. And the unit of electric current is what? Ampere. So it is purely a scalar quantity, and here charge can be measured in coulomb by the time is measured in second. So how can we define 1 ampere? The 1 ampere of electric current flows through the conductor, through the cross section of the conductor, when 1 coulomb of charge flows from one end to the other end in 1 second time, then you can say 1 ampere of electric current flows. So this is about the electric current. And if at all, for example, if 20 coulombs of charge flows through the cross section of the conductor, for 2 seconds, you can say, for 2 seconds. Then as per this formula, what happened? I is equal to Q by T, you can say. So Q is what? 20 coulombs, and time is what? 2 seconds. The time always be measured in seconds only. Particularly you have to keep concentrate on this one. So it is what? 10 amperes, you can say. So this is simple problem you can. But whenever electron can be rotated in a circular path of radius r, then what happened? The charge of electron is Q, you can say. Now this I is equal to Q by T, you can say. But this electron is moving along the circular path with a speed v, you can say. So thereby, how can you calculate the current? Current is nothing but charge of the electron by the time. You can write how the distance by speed you can write. So thereby Q by, what is the distance traveled by the electron around this one? So it is nothing but 2 pi r by the speed of the electron is v. So therefore the I is equal to QV by, so 2 pi r, you can say. Even by knowing the radius of the circular path or that particular path in which that electron is revolving around the circular path, and there also you can find out the electric current produced by that particular electron is nothing but I is equal to QV by 2 pi r, you can say. Now, how this electric current flows? So for that case, you have to be known about the potential. What is potential? The potential is nothing but, for example, if you can imagine a positive charge, it is nothing but electric field, you can say, and this is the charge Q. So from the infinite place, from the infinite direction, if you can bring a unit amount of the positive charge, that is Q naught, you can say, to a point in an electric field A, you can imagine, against this force of repulsion, because it is a positive charge, it is also positive charge. So we are bringing that one. So against this force of repulsion of this positive charge, we should do some work. So thereby, the work done to move the charge into an electric field, so E is known as the potential at that particular point, you can say. The potential is nothing but what? Work done to move an electric charge from an infinite point to a point in an electric field. So this is nothing but the work done by charge, you can say, potential. The potential is unit is what? Volt. Volt is nothing but work done by the charge, you can say, but work done unit is what? Joule, and the charge unit is coulomb. So when 1 coulomb of charge is drawn by doing the 1 joule of work done, thereby the point is consist with the 1 volt of potential, you can say. But if the 2 points are with the difference of some potential, for example, it is VA, it is VB, you can say. So VA is greater than VB. Then however the temperature, the heat flows from high temperature to low temperature. However the wind blows from the high pressure to low pressure. However the water can flow from the higher altitude to lower altitude, slanting position. In the similar situation, according to the nature, the potential, higher potential to lower potential, that electric current can be moved. That means the charge is flowing always be from higher potential to lower potential. If these 2 points are having no difference in the potential, think that one, there is no flowing of electric charge. So that is why the potential difference between the 2 points is always be mentioned with some delta V is nothing but VA minus VB, you can say. This is nothing but potential difference. This is also can be known as a work done by charge, because if the charge can be flow from one point A to other point B, this is the potential difference, you can say. And whenever a simple electric circuit we can take, it is a load and it is connected by an ammeter to register the electric current known by, and it is a switch, thereafter a battery if you can connect, and this is nothing but the simple electric circuit, you can say. What is simple electric circuit? A closed circuit of conducting wire by connecting a load or ammeter and a key, battery, and with one voltmeter also you can know that one. This is nothing but the simple electric circuit. This voltmeter and ammeter are not mandatory to keep in this one, but the load and as well as the key and the source of electricity are connected by a closed conducting wire is nothing but a simple electric circuit, you can say. So in this way, the battery can have it is nothing but the simple cell. What does it mean cell? The chemical energy is going to be converted into electrical energy. The device in which the chemical energy is converting into electrical energy, that is called the cell, you can say. These cells, when they are connected in the form of the group as a series or parallel, so these are nothing but a group of cells always be known as a battery, you can say. This is battery in series cells and this is the battery with the parallel cells. But in this case the energy is very less, however the number of cells if we can be joined, but their EMF, electromotive force. The electromotive force is nothing but the energy within the cell that drive the electrons into the circuit is called the electromotive force. Accidentally this term is referred as a force, but it is a energy. And this electromotive force, when it is connected with if the key is open, this is only EMF, you can say. But if the key is closed, this becomes a potential difference. So because this is going to be drive the electrons into the circuit, thereby the potential gradually it drops and again it refills, it is continuously. So that is why when the cell is not connected with anything, that will be the EMF. If it is the cell is connected with a closed circuit, that becomes a potential, you can say. That is the main difference between the EMF and potential. And by this one, so we can also learn when the cells are connected in series, cells are connected in parallel. In this one, however the number of cells are connected, that energy is equal to one dry cell. But in this one, if the group of cells are connected in series, that energy will be multiple with the number of cells. And similarly, the bulbs are also connected in series for the decoration purpose. If the one bulb is switched off, then the entire circuit will be collapsed. But whereas our household circuit can be connected in parallel, because the required appliance only we can operate. The other one can be switched off. So it is according to our convenience, the parallel connection is made for the household combination. Entire house is maintained at the common voltage. That is the household voltage, you can say. Is the law given by the Simon Ohm, and it is said that whenever an electric current is between these 2 points A and B, and these A and B are differs by a potential difference V, and the electric current flows through this conductor from A to B is I. Now this Ohm's law can be defined at constant temperature. The electric current which flows through a conductor is always be directly proportional to the potential difference across the ends of the conductor. This I is proportional to V, we can say, or conveniently we can write V is proportional to I. So just this is an empirical formula, mathematical formula developed by the Simon Ohm, but it's not a fundamental law, because since this Ohm's law is not applicable to all the material at all conditions, so there are the limitations are there. Because of this one, it cannot be called as a fundamental law. And this Ohm's law can be defined as what? At constant temperature, the electric current is flows through a conductor is always be directly proportional to the potential difference across the conductor. Now, this V is proportional to a V is equal to what? IR you can write, where this R is equal to V by I, you can say, where R is what? The R is the resistance of the conductor. Resistance of conductor. So this resistance of the conductor is also can be defined as what? It is the controlling flow of electron. However, the vehicles are going with a tremendous speed on the road. What happened? To control their speed, we construct speed breakers on the road. So like similarly, the speed breaker is nothing but the resistance of the conductor, you can say. Hence, its symbol is also mentioned like this one. This is the symbol of resistance, you can say. Now, it is a controlling flow of the electrons in the circuit. Now, the unit of resistance is what? Ohm. Because Simon Ohm did a lot of work regarding to this one. On the respect of his name, we have given the unit of resistance as ohm. Now, how can we define this ohm? So, 1 ohm resistance can be defined. It is the ratio of the potential difference of the conductor 1 volt to the current which flows through the conductor is 1 ampere. Then that ratio is always be equal to 1 ohm of that particular conductor. The resistance of the conductor is 1 ohm, you can say. 1 ohm is nothing but 1 volt by 1 ampere. That means the conductor having the difference of 1 volt potential difference, if the 1 ampere of electric current flows, then its resistance becomes 1 ohm, you can say. Now this resistance, so here we can discuss about what are the limitations of this Ohm's law. Ohm's law must be at constant temperature only. So because sometimes the question may be asked, the temperature is at 25 degrees Celsius, the wire can have the 100 ohms of resistance. If its temperature is going to be 50 degrees Celsius, after that what is its temperature? What is its resistance? It may be asked. So because when the variation of the temperature is there, there is no the resistance may not be constant, you can say. Resistance is going to be vary. At constant temperature only, the Ohm's law is applicable to this particular system. So whenever this Ohm's law, this can be defined as a ohmic conductors and non-ohmic conductors, you can say. So because when there is obeyed by the Ohm's law, it is not obeyed by the Ohm's law, you can say. When the conductors purely here metals, you can say, all metals are ohmic conductors, you can say. Here non-metals, semiconductors, other semiconductors, other vacuum tubes are always comes under thermistors. These are all comes under the non-ohmic conductors. Because whenever if you can draw a curve in between the I versus V, the straight line occur, so passing through the origin. And this is the Ohm's law, you can say. But whenever if non-ohmic conductors is there, a curve is obtained in between the I versus V, if the curves are graph is drawn over that one. So it is ohmic conductors, it is non-ohmic conductors. So whichever obey the Ohm's law, they are called ohmic conductors. Which doesn't obey the Ohm's law, they are called as a non-ohmic conductors, you can say. And we can have the experiment to prove the how the Ohm's law is verified. So that we can discuss about the lab activity situation. But here we can discuss about the laws of resistance. What are the laws of resistance? How this resistance can be defined on the physical condition of the conductor. You see here, the first law, what it says that one, the resistance of the conductor is always be directly proportional to the length of the conductor at constant temperature and constant area of cross section. So the thickness is must be common and constant temperature. Then only this R is proportional to L, we can say. The second law, what it says, the resistance of the conductor is always be inversely proportional to the area of the cross section, where at constant temperature, at constant length. And this, however the flows, for example, a small pipe is there, through that one the water is coming, you can close with the thumb, the resistance is very high in the narrow. When the huge pipe is there, through that one water is coming, you cannot resist with the thumb, because the area is more, the resistance is less, so it is inverse relation. By clubbing these two, you can say R is proportional to L by A, therefore R is equal to rho into L by A, where this rho is nothing but resistivity, or you can say specific resistance. What is resistivity or specific resistance? So it is the resistance of unit area, you can say R into A by L, you can say it is rho. So here the resistance of unit area per unit length of the conductor is known as a specific resistance. Its unit is what? Ohm resistance, and area is a square meter, by length is nothing but meter. So this gets cancelled. The unit of the specific resistance or resistivity is always be ohm meter, you can say ohm meter. But what is the main difference between the resistivity rho and the resistance? Resistance depends on the physical condition of the conductor, how the length and what is the area of cross section. But whereas resistivity depends on the material of the conductor in which it is being prepared. So it is a material depends, and the resistances depends on the physical condition. That is the difference between this rho and as well as the R, you can say. But after this one, we can discuss